there! Happy New Year from me and my friend Gruffalo. Gruffalo, you've never met a Gruffalo, but you know his story? He's pretty sure everybody knows his story. I think he is my favorite new stuffy. He's actually really soft, and I love the color orange. So I think his orange eyes are really delightful. I'm going to sit him right here. I think he was hoping we would read his book. But I wanted to wish you a happy new year. We get to start the year all over again. A lot of people talk about making resolutions. What's your New Year's resolution? And then I think, do people know what a resolution is? Do you know what a resolution is? Well, you know how sometimes you might make a choice that is not a great choice? You might know it's not a great choice. You might not realize it till it's too late and you can't stop yourself and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Well, a resolution is just saying, you know what? I'm going to try to do better. And I think a resolution is a promise that you make to yourself. You just have an idea of, I'm going to try to be a better friend this year. And you make that promise in your heart and to yourself. It's not the same as apologizing and saying, I won't do it again. I don't want to get in trouble. I won't do it again. And we all do that. We all try to do better. And we make those promises. But sometimes at the beginning of the year, in January, people make resolutions to themselves. Now, some people make crazy resolutions and they say, I'm never going to eat candy again. You know, I know. That's a promise that would be hard to keep. But my resolution, I'm going to do my best to be kind. As kind as I can be every day. And I think some days I'm going to have a lot of chances to be kind. Other days, not as many. And some days, maybe I won't be kind. And I'll feel frustrated because I'll know that that's not a good way to go through the day. But I also know that I can turn myself around and I can try again to be a kind person. So that's my resolution. That's my promise to myself. When I wake up every day, I'm going to say, remember, try to be as kind as you can be. And I'm going to do that. That is my promise to my own heart. But I made a promise to you. I said we would read Gruffalo. There's his story. What do you think? Did they do a good job making a stuffy that looks like the book? I think so. I think he thinks so too. I think he looks spiffy, kind of fancy in there. It's one of my favorite. And of course, it's by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Scheffler. They're a dream team. Absolutely. And I like that. Here's this huge Gruffalo. And here's a very tiny creature, a little mouse. I wonder who is the fiercest, biggest, and strongest. And there's our setting. Ooh, the lovely woods. Looks like it's a beautiful day. A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood. A fox saw a mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have lunch in my underground house. It's terribly kind of you, Fox, but no. I'm going to have lunch with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why, don't you know? Look at his expression. I'm not sure if that's very kind. He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. Where are you meeting him? Here, by these rocks. And his favorite food is roasted fox. Roasted fox? Oh my, Fox said. Goodbye, little mouse. And away he sped. Silly old fox. Doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. I'm a little skeptical about that. I'm not very sure. On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. An owl saw a mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Join me for tea in my treetop house. It's frightfully nice of you, owl. But no, I'm going to have tea with a Gruffalo. Busy mouse. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo. Why, don't you know? We know, don't we? Goodness, I don't want to miss a page of this. Too many good things. He has knobby knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. Where are you meeting him? Here, by the stream. And his favorite food is owl ice cream. Owl ice cream? To wit to who? Goodbye, little mouse, and away owl flew. Silly old owl. Doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. Well. That mouse doesn't look frightened at all, does he? On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. A snake saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come for a feast in my log pile house. It's wonderfully good of you, snake, but no, I'm having a feast with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo. Why, don't you know? Someone should know. His eyes are orange. His tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. Where are you meeting him? Here, by this lake. And his favorite food is scrambled snake. Scrambled snake? It's time I hid. Goodbye, little mouse, and away snake slid. Silly old snake, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. Oh. But who is this creature with terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. His eyes are orange. His tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. Oh, help! Oh, no! It's a... We say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Gruffalo! You smell trouble? Not sure if I smell trouble. My favorite food, the Gruffalo said. You'll taste good on a slice of bread. Good, said the mouse. Don't call me good. I'm the scariest creature in this deep dark wood. Just walk behind me, and soon you'll see. Everyone is afraid of me. Afraid of a mouse. Oh, sure, said the Gruffalo, bursting with laughter. You lead the way, and I'll follow after. They walked and walked till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hiss in the grass ahead. Who did he hear? Who makes that sound? Mm-hmm. Let's see if we're right. Sticky pages today. Oh, come on, page. It's Snake, said the mouse. Why, Snake, hello. Snake took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh dear, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and slid right into his log pile house. Was he looking at Mouse? Nope. You see, said Mouse, I told you so. Amazing, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hoot in the trees ahead. Do we know who he hears? Yes, we do. We remember those characters. Oh, there we go. It's Al, said the mouse. Why, Al, hello. Al took one look at the Gruffalo. Boo-hoo, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and flew right up to his tree-top house. My goodness. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Astounding, said the Gruffalo. Oh, I like those words. Amazing, astounding. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear some paws on the path ahead. Who is that? Who was the first character that invited the mouse? Do you remember? It's Fox, said the mouse. Why, Fox, hello. Fox took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, help, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and ran right into his underground house. The mouse said, Gruffalo, now you see, everyone is afraid of me. But now my tummy is starting to rumble, and my favorite food is Gruffalo crumble. I don't know how much tummy is there in that little mouse. Gruffalo crumble, the Gruffalo said, and quick as the wind, he turned and fled. Oh my gosh. Who's the scary one? All was quiet in the deep dark wood. The mouse found a nut, and the nut was good. Look at that. That's the same scene that we saw before we started the book. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That mouse was clever. He really knew how to be tricky. Not mean and not teasing, just kind of tricky with his friend, the Gruffalo. This Gruffalo has the teeth and the eyes and the wart on his nose and the purple prickles and his knobbly knees. Well done. Yes, I know you have another book. I don't have that one. I will have to go to the library. Sometimes I think he's very impatient. Oh, I can't put him down there. I have my sweater. Oh, can I show you this? I went to put on a favorite sweater. Love it. And then I saw this. It might be hard for you to see. There's a hole. If I look through it, I can see a little bit. And I thought, well, I could throw it away. Or I could do something else, because then I saw another hole. Oh, right here. Another hole. And then I realized I had these different patches. I think I'm going to sew a dragonfly over that hole on my sweater, because I like it. It has pockets and it has a hood and a zipper. And I like the idea of maybe a dragonfly right there by my neck. Will keep me protected. Yep, it's always good to see if you can fix something or use it for something else instead of just getting rid of it, especially if it's really soft. This is really soft. It's hard. It's hard to let go of things that you really love. Oh, speaking of, do you have time for another story? Another Julia Donaldson, Axel Scheffler, Dream Team. But this was a newer one for me. The spiffiest giant in town. There's a part of it that kind of like the Ugly Five. I think we probably need to sing a little bit. You know, I love to make up songs for things. Do you ever make up songs? It's kind of fun. La 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 la. And in this book, there was a part I thought would be a good song. And I love that they use the word spiffiest. I feel spiffy when I wear this sweater. It's kind of big, but it has a lot of blue and green. I like to wear blue and green. I love orange, but I like to wear blue and green. Maybe I'll find an orange top too. Let's see if I like that. Spiffiest giant in town. Well, look at that. Look at his feet. Look. I wonder if any of those mice are the mouse who met the Gruffalo. I'm not sure. Let's find out. George was a giant, the scruffiest giant in town. Oh. Spiffy is super fancy. Scruffy is super, well, not fancy. He always wore the same pair of old brown sandals and the same old patched up gown. I wish I wasn't the scruffiest giant in town, he said sadly. Oh, look at that expression. He really does look sad. I wonder, maybe he's sad because he can't fit in anybody's front door. Make me sad. But one day George noticed a new shop. It was full of spiffy clothes, so he bought a spiffy shirt, a spiffy pair of pants, a spiffy belt, a spiffy striped tie, woohoo, some spiffy socks with diamonds on the side. Let me see that. Sometimes people call that argyle. I'll go with the diamonds though. And a pair of spiffy, shiny shoes. Now I'm the spiffiest giant in town, he said proudly. Do you ever wear something new and you feel kind of fancy? It's a good feeling. George left his old clothes behind in the shop. He was about to go home when he heard a sound. On the sidewalk stood a giraffe who was sniffling sadly. What's the matter? Asked George. It's my neck, said the giraffe. It's so very long and so very cold. I wish I had a long, warm scarf. Oh, no one wants to see a sad giraffe. Cheer up, said George, and he took off his striped tie. It didn't match my socks anyway, he said as he wound it around and around the giraffe's neck. It made a wonderful scarf. Thank you, said the giraffe. That was really kind of George. As George strode toward home, he sang to himself, my tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe, but look me up and down, I'm the spiffiest giant in town. I would have to agree. George came to a river. On a boat stood a goat who was bleating loudly. "What's the matter?" asked George. "It's my sail," said the goat. "It blew away in a storm. I wish I had a strong new sail for my boat." That would be sad for a goat and his boat. You hear that? Goat, boat. "Cheer up," said George, and he took off his new white shirt. "It kept coming untucked anyway," he said as he tied it to the mast of the goat's boat. "It made a magnificent sail." "Thank you," said the goat. Look at that. George strode on, singing to himself, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. But look me up and down, I'm the spiffiest giant in town." He's still looking very pleased and proud, isn't he? George came to a tiny, ruined house. Beside the house stood a white mouse with lots of baby mice. They were all squeaking. "What's the matter?" asked George. "It's our house," squeaked another mouse. "It burned down and now we have nowhere to live. I wish we had a nice new house." Take a second. Think about those words. I wish we had a nice new house. And look on this page. Don't say anything out loud. Just think, what do you think George is going to do? Don't say it. Just hold it right here. Let's see if we all have the same idea. Ready? "Cheer up," said George, and he took off one of his shiny shoes. Is that what you were thinking? Me too. Give ourselves a pat on the back. "It was giving me blisters anyway," he said. As the mouse and her baby scrambled inside, the shoe made a perfect home for them. "Thank you," they squeaked. George had to hop along the road now, but he didn't mind. As he hopped, he sang to himself, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. But look me up and down, I'm the spiffiest giant in town." Oh my goodness. Oh, and look at them. They're covering their ears. I never noticed that before. I hope it wasn't my singing. George came to a campsite. Beside a tent stood a fox. You guessed it, who was crying. "What's the matter?" asked George. "It's my sleeping bag," said the fox. "I dropped it in a puddle. I wish I had a warm, dry sleeping bag." Oh my goodness. Oh. I know, I'm not going to even ask you what you think is going to happen next because, I think you're there. "Cheer up," said George as he took off one of his socks with diamonds on the side. "It was tickling my toes anyway," he said, as the fox snuggled into it. It made a very fine sleeping bag. "Thank you," said the fox. George hopped on, singing to himself, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of my socks is a bed for a fox. But look me up and down, I'm the spiffiest giant in town." Well, he is. My goodness. George came to a big squishy bog. Beside the bog stood a dog who was howling. "What's the matter?" said George. "It's this bog," said the dog. "I need to get across, but I keep getting stuck in the mud. I wish there was a safe, dry path." I don't know if the next solution's quite as obvious. Just think of something that George could be wearing that would stretch to a long path like a sidewalk. "Cheer up," said George, and he took off his spiffy new belt. "It was squeezing my tummy anyway," he said, as he laid it down over the bog. It made an excellent path. "Thank you," said the dog. The wind started to blow, but George didn't mind. He hopped on, singing to himself, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of my socks is a bed for a fox. My belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog, but my pants are falling down. I'm the coldest giant in town." Oh my. Suddenly, George felt sad and shivery and not at all spiffy. He stood on one foot and thought, "I'll have to go back to the shop and buy some more clothes," he decided. He turned around and hopped all the way back to the shop. Oh my goodness. I don't think I was expecting that. But when he got there, it was closed. "Oh no," cried George. He sank down onto the sidewalk, and a tear ran down his nose. He felt as sad as all the animals he had met on his way home. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he saw a bag with something familiar poking out of the top. George took a closer look. "My gown," he yelled. "My dear old gown and sandals." George put them on. They felt wonderfully comfortable. "I'm the coziest giant in town," he cried, and he danced back home along the road. Did you remember that? He left his clothes and sandals at the shop where he bought his spiffy things. And I like that. Look at his gown. He has patches on there, kind of like the patches I'm going to put on my sweater, so I can be the coziest bubby in town. Outside his front door stood all the animals he had helped. They were carrying an enormous present. "Come on, George," they said. "Open it." George untied the ribbon. Inside was a beautiful gold paper crown and a card. "Look inside the card, George," said the animals. George put the crown on his head and opened the card. It's a pretty spiffy crown. Inside it said, "You gave your scarf to a cold giraffe. Your shirt's on a boat as a sail for a goat. Your shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of your socks is a bed for a fox. Your belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog. So here is a very fine crown to go with the sandals and gown of the kindest giant in town." Wow. What a great ending for that story. I hope you like the song. I just felt like we had to sing it. I mean, if they're singing it in the book, we have to sing it somewhere. He was spiffy. I think he was spiffy even if he was wearing his old things. Because spiffy means special. And what do you think about George's heart? I think he had a pretty spiffy heart. I think he still does. Kindness makes you beautiful on the inside and the outside. When you do good things for others, even if they're animals you've never met before, kind of like George hadn't really met them before, he just looked for ways to help. Maybe that's another resolution, another promise I would make to myself, part of the kindness, that I will look for ways to be helpful to others. Maybe it's just holding a door, saying thank you. Maybe it's just smiling. Sometimes people need a smile. They might look grumpy because they think that they don't have any friends or nobody wants to talk to them. So just looking them in the eye like this, saying, hi. It doesn't cost any money. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it can make a huge difference. George made a huge difference. He just kept finding ways to be kind, and he kept saying, I didn't really need it. This wasn't really working. So when he was giving things to other people, other animals actually, he wasn't making them feel like they were taking something. He actually was making them feel like, well, you're helping me because that tie didn't really match my socks, or the belt was squeezing my tummy. That's extra kindness. That's next level kindness. So that's what we'll have to do, is just think of ways that we can be like George, being kind and not making anybody feel that if we're kind to them, they have to give us something or do something. Kindness is knowing you're just doing the right thing. I hope you find lots of ways to be kind. I know that you have kind hearts. And you know that I am thankful for all the kindness in the world and all the beautiful and wonderful things in the world. And we have a new year to celebrate all of them. And I am always, always thankful for you. So I'm going to go look for some more stories and maybe some songs, maybe a new stuffy to show you or to share with you. And I'll have my sweater done. I can show you how that turns out too. In the meantime, make sure you're kind to people around you and be kind to yourself. Just take your arms like this, give a big squeeze, and give yourself a hug because you are amazing.